Hey, welcome back to Morning Detention. We are still talking about should teens pay rent or bills in the household once they start working at the age of 16. This is tip number five. This is tip number five. Um, Man, be honest. This is the fifth tip. This is the last tip on it. As I said many times before, I could talk about a lot of tips in these topics, but I only want to give out five to each topic. This is my 40th topic 40th tip I gave this year so far. So if you haven't checked out all the rest of the 39, go out and check them out. I feel like they're great tips. But this right here, this is one of my favorite tips to talk about. Like, I love talking about this because so out of all the 39 I gave before, this is one that I feel like this is the meat of. This is one of my favorites, should I say? So anyway, talking about should a child who worked like 16 and over pay rent, right, or pay bills, and on the other side, should they pay contribution, right? And I explained those in other topics and other tips before in the pay rent, right? I said I don't make my child pay rent because I don't want them or pay bills because then it seems where they got rights in my house and they don't. That's just one. I told you I had two reasons. I'm about to give you the second reason right now, right? And then I also say I make them have like a contribution. That contribution means that you pay, like in my house, you pay 10% of your income towards me at a certain age. Well, not at a certain age, but at a certain time of your life, right? Because my kids, even right now, I have a 21-year-old. He doesn't pay me rent. He should give me contribution to the house, and I'll tell you why, right? All right. So when your child turns 18, they're out of high school, right? And the next step of their life is very crucial. The next 3-4 years of their life, it might shape the next 10-15 years of their life, right? And this is why I don't make my kids pay rent, because I grew up paying rent. And I'm not saying that's wrong. It's not wrong at all. And I'm not knocking any parent that charge their kids rent. I'm not doing that because I don't understand your financial situation. I know my mom's financial situation is that she might need my money to actually help pay bills in the house, right? But the reason why I don't let my kids do it because I feel like I came from a family where like education and those just training in different areas like electrical engineer, becoming plumbing, it's not a priority in my house, right? So, and in my house growing up, but in my house now, it's priority, right? And so if I charge my teenager rent, like regular rent, let's say I charge them $250, $300, right, a month. I don't know if that's what they charge them now, but they just say I charge them that a month, right? I'm gonna say $200, right? And then say they work at McDonald's and they going to college, and they have their own expenses, or let's just say they going to college, right? Or say they go to a community college and go to community college, but they still live at home. So if you charge them $200, they're only making like $350 a check every 2 weeks. You got to think about, they got to give you $200. They got to take care of themselves. And what's going to happen is that you're going to force them to drop out of, well, you might, I don't say you are, they'll be more likely to drop out of school to pursue more money because they need to continue taking care of themselves, right? So think about their check is, let's just say their check is $350, right, before tax, $300 after tax. They got to give you $100 this check, $100 this check. They might need bus fare or something to go to work. They might need, try to go out with their friends, buy personal hygiene stuff for themselves. So when they think about money, they be like, I'm working, but I ain't got no money, right? So they working part-time. But what's gonna happen is they're gonna start getting offered more hours, and they're gonna take these hours and they're gonna work because they know that they need more money because what they're working now is not enough to do what they are supposed to do, right? What they want to do or what they need to do. So the money gonna start looking good, and next thing you know, they're gonna drop out of college, right? And next thing you know, as a parent who need financial help, you're now setting your kids up when they get grown to need financial help. So that's why you don't want to charge them rent. You want to make them contribute to the household, right? Because you want to make sure that they are successful, right? And you want to make sure that, because you got to understand that your grandkids is going to be staying in your daughter's house. And if she's in a financial burden, and when your granddaughter or grandson turns 16, they're going to charge their kids rent. That means who's breaking the cycle, right? So I'm trying to break the cycle, and I don't know how it is in your household. You trying to break the cycle, or you trying to continue a cycle. Continue the cycle means that you could already be doing this. I don't know your household, but what I'm saying that for me is I make a decision. Like I have a 21-year-old son who have a great job, right? But he's still only paying me 10% of his income. But because of that, because he didn't pay rent. Well, not rent. I'm sorry. He didn't contribute to the house until he was out of college. He'd been out of college for like 2 years. He didn't contribute to the house until he got out of college. But now, to this day, he's looking to move out. Like he got money saved up in the bank. He's looking for the move, but but he finished college, so he was able to get a great job. So he was able to think about getting on an apartment, hopefully a house later on, and a great car. Who knows? But I set him up for that by saying you're going to contribute and not pay rent. So I know this is one of the longest tip I have, but I think this is very important for, I would say, the African American community in my eyes. So it could be other communities, but again, I'm gonna stop right there, and I want to say thank you for listening to this long message. But I think it's a